Hello, YouTube. How are we going? Happy Thursday from Australia. I just got off one of my own coaching calls and I was just really thinking and reflecting on this year and what I want to create in the new year 2025. But everything that I share with you today will be applicable regardless of when you watch this. And I just want to relay the message that there is really no other option than to grow, to evolve, to bloom. I feel that there are so many things on the internet that teaches growing and evolving and changing and shifting and up leveling, whatever resonates with you, as this really abstract thing that's like you need to try work towards. It's something you should naturally be doing. If your life hasn't really changed this past year, or you feel that there's no progress, there's no progression, things are feeling like they're plateaued, or you're always attracting the exact same result, this is an indication that you're actually not doing the work that you need to do to be able to evolve, to be able to welcome in more, to expand your capacity to receive more. Something I've been saying on my podcast, the Jessica Pinili podcast, since 2017, 2018, is not get out of your comfort zone. You need to expand your comfort zone. So when we look at comfort zone and the way I speak about it, it's all about your nervous system, right? You are expanding your nervous system to adapt to new possibilities. And so if things haven't changed, like you can go through change, whether it's you have to start a new job, or you left a relationship, or you've had to move house, all of that, yes. But what I want you to see is like significant change if you zoomed out towards your long-term vision. My client calls this week, and I just finished them off for the week this morning. It had really been centered around not chasing the instant gratification to feel good right now and in this moment, but to instead put in the work, the tedious work it feels like, to create a long-term vision and to work towards a long-term goal. When you are very, very clear on what your long-term vision is and what your long-term goal is, what starts to happen and what you start to develop is this plan, this foundation of working towards that. Most people want the instant wins, the instant gratification, the quick wins, the quick dopamine hits. That's not how you are going to grow and evolve. That's not how you are going to bloom in who you want to become and what you want to create and the legacy that you want to create and put out there and have people believe in. And I think that that's one of the biggest things that I see with high achieving women that come and work with me, is often there's this big disconnect with their long-term vision and what they're doing now. They're not allowing themselves, their nervous systems, to adapt to new possibilities and to evolve. And so when we are entering this brand new year, there is no other option for you than evolving, than creating, than building your long-term vision, than building your legacy, whatever that looks like. I always say to my brand new clients that come and work with me, you get to define what success is to you. Success can be $1 million in the bank account, or it could be a farm with 10 puppies that you're surrounded by. It doesn't, in the outback, it doesn't matter. But you need to get, number one, so crystal clear on what success looks like to you, what that looks like in a long-term vision, and how you are going to create that in the brand new year. This work of evolution, this work of blooming, this work of working on ourselves shouldn't be something that's this abstract, like, big thing, like, oh, I guess I got to do that work, or I've got to put it on my to-do list. No, it should be an evolution. If your life has significantly changed, the same, if your finances haven't changed, your relationships haven't developed, if your health and wellness has plateaued, hasn't changed, hasn't gotten better, if your career or your business feels like it's stagnant, feels like you're just going through the motions, feels like you're not truly inspired by it, these are all indications that you haven't grown. You haven't evolved this year. You haven't done the work to set yourself up for a long-term vision, and you're just going through the motions. Remember, you can experience life changes such as having to change job, or having to move, or getting rid of a toxic relationship. It could be romantic, platonic, family, it doesn't matter. You can go through those and make those steps. But when you reflect on your year overall, if you look at the past 12 months, and this recording's December 12th, is that a chunk? If we looked at it like a puzzle piece, does this puzzle piece actually contribute? That's the word I'm looking for. Does this puzzle piece actually contribute to your long-term vision? Has it made any leeway towards your long-term vision and what you're creating and what you're evolving? Or when you get very, very honest with yourself, are you just going through the motions? Are you someone who has a momentum and it falls down, momentum falls down, momentum falls down, and it's like this stop start, stop start, stop start, stop start? This year has been stop start. It is now time for you to have a direct, honest conversation with yourself about what are you going to do in the brand new year. My methodology is a woman mastery methodology, and there's 3 phases, and I want you to focus on them, and I want you to have honest conversations with yourself. How, number one, phase one, how are you reprogramming your subconscious mind? Phase two, how are you actually changing your identity, your self-concept, the way you see yourself, the way you see yourself in your career, your business, see yourself with money, right? And you can't identify that unless you understand what's happening subconsciously. You can be listening to this and have all the best intentions that you're going to make money, that you're going to have this business, that you're going to make 10K months, you're going to get that promotion, you're going to attract that relationship. You can think that consciously, but it's a different thing if subconsciously you are wired to stay in lack, you are wired to stay in scarcity, you are wired to stay in the same loops. That's why you need to understand that in phase one. Phase two, then understanding how you actually perceive yourself. How are you perceiving yourself as a person and a human being in this world and with what you're currently doing? When you understand how you actually see yourself, you get to the root of subconsciously. You can want to see yourself as someone who's successful and has money and has, or getting the promotion, or someone who is loved. But if your identity, there's 3 phases. So one of my identity frameworks is the upside down Y framework. So just imagine an upside down Y. You have the new, you have the old, you have the new, but in here, in the upside down Y section, you have the in between identity. This is where most high achievers get stuck for years and years and years. They're in the in between where they're still operating out of old ways, but they're still they're trying to bring in new ways. So it kind of feels like, and this is what the dopamine hit, it feels like you're seeing some success when you get momentum, and then all of a sudden it dips down and you go back to the start. You hit this glass ceiling. And again, momentum, stop, start, right? That's the in between. And then phase three is all about regulating your nervous system to a brand new capacity, which means, right, it's not about being able to just be peaceful and calm. That's a byproduct. What we're looking at is how you adapt. Because I promise you, if you're still getting the same results this year and they feed into next year, you're not allowing your nervous system to adapt to more money, to better relationships, to better health, to the success that you desire. You can want it all you want. You can feel it in your soul all you want. But if you're not allowing that adaptation of your nervous system to get used to that and to bring that in and to feel good holding that, you're going to repeat the exact same results over and over again. There is no other option for you. This is your reminder. This is your sign that in the new year, you need to do things differently from what you've been doing. You can't just be planning all the time. You can't just having a million to-do lists. You can't just be thinking about the change you want to make. You can't just say, yes, I have this big goal for $10,000 a month, $50,000, $100,000, or I have this big dream of getting promoted. Like, what? Push aside the consumption and the planning. What are you actually putting in place to change your behavior and integrate so the needle gets moved forward? Most people, where they fail is the integration, is the taking the action. The best mindset hack you can ever have is taking action. You can know everything in the world. You can know exactly what you want. You can have the most beautiful vision board. You can have the most beautiful goals list, whatever it may be. But where's the integration? That's what you need to focus on for 2025, the integration, the taking action, the changing your behavior. Because all of the results you have right now, this is a result of your subconscious programming. We're 95% acting on autopilot. You need to get so super clear and conscious of what that autopilot is to change where you're going. Because if you don't get clear, if you don't understand exactly what that looks like, and I mean not just, I procrastinate, Or, I just get imposter syndrome. No, that's not good enough. This is work that I do with my clients. That's not good enough. That's self-awareness, what everyone wants to be. I don't want you to be self-aware. I want you to be consciously aware. So yeah, okay, you procrastinate, but what is that attached to? What fear, what resentment is that attached to? What does that behavior look like? Procrastination is many different things. And then what is your brain telling you on the other side is a perceived negative if you push through this resistance. Because remember, when we are doing something like procrastinating, we're putting off what we want to do, we are in a state of dysregulation, which means our nervous system is struggling to adapt to what is on the other side of that. So let's say you want to make $10,000 months, and every time you start to actually get in your business and work on it, not just write a to-do list, all of a sudden you find yourself scrolling or watching Netflix, or you start cooking, or you go, oh, I need to clear my head, or I like have a creative block, I need to go on a walk. And that's happened every day this week. What that's telling me is you're not giving your nervous system the chance, the ability to adapt. You need to look at that behavior and why. Because what is the reason you are not giving it to the adapt? What do you think is going to happen? You're going to make $10,000. Is it more responsibility, more tax, more this, X, Y, Z? And then you break through, you dissolve that. That's all the woman mastery methodology. That's everything I teach. And so in the new year coming up, it is time to do things different. It is time to adapt differently. It is time to behave differently. It is time to actually see yourself differently so you get different results. That's just the fact, or else nothing is going to change. It is your time to evolve, to bloom, to grow, to create the results you actually want to see. But unless you are taking all that planning and all that knowledge and integrating it, nothing is going to change. I'm going to leave it at that. I will see you in tomorrow's live. I also speak about all three of these phases in the show notes below. The first link, the Woman Mastery Bundle, I go through, and it's not just me talking, giving high vibes. It's actual tangible things where you learn the processes. You will have access to the training about the upside down why framework as well. It's probably, I've got my two frameworks in there, the emotional matrix, upside down why, and you will actually learn exactly what to do when it comes to taking action versus actually just consuming and learning more, because that's important to me. That's in the show notes below. Any questions or anything you want me to speak about in these lives, definitely leave a comment below, and I will see you in tomorrow's live. Bye.